The way you shine inspires us at Pico. So please keep doing what you do, and we'll provide the essential energy that makes it all possible. Learn how we're powering life at home and building a more vibrant community at pico.com/shine.
Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. You know what? I'm going to leave it to the professionals.
Yeah. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. You know him as a dope actor, Kevin D. Bitten. 360 twice jam, how he keep winning. And you know the baddest actress, Nikee Warren. She so bad you walking past, she had you speaking for her. If you ain't tuning in, this your reality check. You might miss out on your favorite star celebrity guest. When they celebrate, what you do, you get the bell, yeah. During Kevin's corner, get inspired and encouraged, yeah. Bend them corners while you listen, but don't swerve. Find out what's getting on Nikee nerve. What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? Keep on playing, me and Kevin goes and we gon' get you hit. Yo, check us out on social media. In your mobile phone, we everywhere. You have the stations played out like a ringtone. Follow me like Bino R-E-M-E-Y. Bino Remy, pop like Simi. And my flow hotter, thicker semi. Been doing this since I scraped up pennies. But back to the subject, Kevin Nikee.
It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. Time for the Kevin and Nikee show.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
It never gets old. Yo. So yeah, man, this is the Kevin and Nikee show on iHeartRadio and a whole lot of other platforms.
Yeah.
I'm Pastor Kevin D. Fit-Tut.
And I'm actress Nikee Warren.
And we are back. We're back with another exciting edition.
Another exciting show.
Of the Kevin and Nikee show.
Kevin
and Nikee show. Got them airways popping every time they try to flow.
What?
I'm sure that wasn't in there, but at least it rhymed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're rhyming.
You know what? What else you never know what to ask. You know what I mean? We like unscripted. You know what I'm saying? We might rap, we might rhyme, you know, we might sing.
Sing a little bit.
We might do a little bit of everything. So yeah, you know, we always when we got something going on or something on the horizon. You know what I mean? So yeah, so with that said, it is time for the mini adventure of Kevin and Nikee.
Yes.
Yep. But wait. Now listen, I know we've been saying on the show that our Dinner in the Movie, Kevin and Nikee show featuring Jason's Letter premiere watch party would be on September 22nd, my birthday, but as it turns out, the date has changed again. Oh no. That's all right. So now, here's the official date. This is what's going to happen, you guys. Jason's Letter will be premiering on STARZ September 5th. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a pre-premiere party on September 1st. The Kevin and Nikee show, Dinner in the Movie, featuring Jason's Letter, pre-watch party. Doors open at 8 o'clock sharp. Movie starts at 9. Don't be late. Come on out. Come out and party with us. Come on out and watch the movie with us. Listen, I still want some cake, okay? We're going to party like it's 1999, and we're going to celebrate. We're going to pre-celebrate my birthday and pre-celebrate Jason's Letter. Come on out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be at the Golf and Social Club on 1080 Delaware Avenue. Come on out. You're going to have a good time. I guarantee you.
Yeah. And it's a free event.
Free event.
There will be a discounted menu available.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The Kevin and Nikee Show will be broadcasting live. And we'll be doing some interviews. So come on down. Let us know who you are. Get on the show. And we're going to air it. It's going to be dope. It's going to be a lot of energy. So, yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. We're going to watch Jason's Letter and this epic, iconic movie, man, that look, we've been anticipating it well. It's been well anticipated.
Yes, the movie, you guys, will be starting on time at 9 o'clock.
Sharp.
Yes,
yeah.
It will be starting on time. So listen, this is a movie that you do
don't
not want to be late for. Okay, you don't want to miss it. So you need to come on out, be on time, because you want to see this movie from the very beginning to the end. It has an awesome message, you know, and we want you to see it because we're going to be, you know, talking about it a little bit after the movie is over, and then we're going to open up that dance floor and get the pop locking, you know, break dancing. I'm going to have to break out my windbreaker.
I don't know about the break.
Oh, you can't break it?
I used to, you know what I'm saying? But you know, then your back start hurting, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But you know what?
You can pop lock those.
I can pop lock. I definitely pop lock.
Yeah, come on out. We're going to have a ball. Food, fun, family,
fellowship,
and
friends. That's
come
right.
on out.
Yeah,
come on out.
Doors open at 8. So yeah, we'll be there. It's gonna be great. And that rhymes. Yeah, I think I might.
Doors open at 8. It's gonna be great.
And we're gonna get on the dance floor and shake, bake, and quake. So you better come down and
you know
see what.
See.
Are you breaking up my flow? I was about to go. You know, I know.
I'm gonna run your feet.
No, you broke my train of thing.
One.
No, I said, no, you broke my train of thing. All right. Right now, I ask you to keep going. All right, yo, here we go. Jason's watch party. Doors open at 8. Don't come late, because we're going to call you a fake. We're going to get on the dance floor and shake, bake, and quake. You know we're going to get down because we can't wait. This is something you ain't going to want to miss. The Kevin and Nikee Show, and we're not going to try to diss. We quick with this, man. We flip with this, man. Come on, get on the show so you can get with this, man. So,
yeah!
Go!
Yes!
Wait. That was dope. No, listen. That's one of them what they call one-time kiss the pig. Like, I came up off the top of my head with that. I probably wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, and you see how I freestyled off the top of my head.
That was dope. The beat was dope. The rhyme was dope. And, it was, Nick, that was nice. That was good.
I got you.
That was good.
You know, Miss Martin, my cousin.
Okay. Oh, man. It's like my cousin. How come the cousin always think because they're related to the famous person that they can do something good?
I just said this boy is my cousin.
Your cousin.
My cousin.
Oh, your cousin.
Yeah.
All right, so so what else we got going on? Oh, we went to the last shot premiere. The second sold out last shot premiere.
Last shot.
It was dope.
Awesome. Shout out to the awesome director, Terrence
Arlen.
Yeah,
Arlen Entertainment. And an awesome cast, man. It is a very, very, very good movie. It was awesome. It was awesome. It kept you guessing. It kept you on the edge of your seat. It kept you engaged. And you were kind of always wondering what was going to happen next.
You were.
You know what I'm saying? You go kind of. We were trying to figure it out, though.
I was shocked though, because I was thinking one way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it away.
Right. You guys
got to see it. You know, I'm not going to give it away. But the ending kind of threw me a little bit because I was going one way with one person, and it turned out to be another person that we never even thought about.
Yeah, one of the expected ending.
And I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
So it was a shocker at the end. It was really good. You guys gotta go out and see it. Last shot. You had Chris Cream is in it. Yeah. You had Christian Ramos is in it.
Dominic King. Yeah, they had
it was
Adela's in it.
Adela's in it.
Yeah, it was Jeremy Thompson's in it. My brother from another mother from my acting class. It was just my man Cody was in it, who we interviewed. And the Kevin Nikee show was in the house doing interviews. And, you know, we ain't calling names because we don't like to leave nobody out.
Right.
So we just want to say shout out Lottie Dottie to everybody in the cast of Last Shot. Y'all did a phenomenal job. It was great. The turnout was great. Second sold out from there.
It was just awesome.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. You guys gotta see it. I mean, it was and the backstory was really awesome because we got some really good interviews.
Yeah, we did.
You know,
and we're gonna post some in them.
We're gonna post some of them in the Facebook, and you guys want to have a chance to see, you know, some of those pictures and different things like that.
Are we gonna post a video? We got one video, right?
We got one video.
Okay, one video interview. Okay.
The video, we did the video with Dominic King and Christian Raymond.
Yeah. But you know, when we and I hate to give a shout out to single somebody out because the whole entire cast was phenomenal. Yeah. The whole entire cast did a great job. But I gotta give a shout out to my brother Chris Cream, man, who played Smack in the movie.
Yeah.
He not only was he a mess, but he played that role.
He did. He
played that role.
He was a mess.
He was a mess, but he played that role. He played one of the drug dealers, right?
Yeah.
In the movie, and I'm gonna tell you, his performance was phenomenal.
His performance was phenomenal.
It was.
I mean, he was a mess. I wanted to see, you know, a little bit more of him, but it's okay.
Right, for what he was given, he crushed it.
Yeah.
He crushed it, man. And we had a chance to do an interview with him after the movie, you know, on the little red carpet where they get to take the pictures, man. And
he was phenomenal.
He did phenomenal.
He
and we had the opportunity to interview Cody.
Yeah.
He was the lead character in it, and he had a lot of good things to say. In terms of the movie, Terrence Arlen, how it was very, very well written, well directed, and the acting was phenomenal, and how he had to get into character to play certain dramatic roles.
We talked about how he said how he had to go to a dark place
in
order to get to, you know, bring out what he
bring
was
out
looking
that character,
for. And one of the things that Chris Cream said, he and Terrence brought ideas to the table regarding the character.
I got you.
And Terrence let him roll with those ideas in order to, you know, build up that character. And he did. He did.
But you know something, another thing I like what he said, because one of the questions I asked him was, you know, how did you prepare your character or get into character? And he said, look, I'm from Kansas. He played a drug dealer. He said, I took a little bit of this person I knew, this person I knew, this person I knew, and just kind of owned it, made it my own, got into the thoughts of the character, and that's what you got. And it came across believable. You know, we know the acting is not acting, it's reacting and responding. And he did it, man.
He did a good job.
Everybody did a good job, but he did a good job.
All of the actors and actresses, you know, they did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
This is definitely something that you guys want to keep your eyes out for. Last Shot.
Yep.
Directed by Terrence Arlen. Keep your eye, keep on the lookout for this film. I'm telling you guys.
It's a great film.
It's a great film.
Yep. And then we went to the making of the 5 Heartbeat showing. Man, listen, I didn't know all that stuff went on behind the scenes to make that movie.
First of all, 5 Heartbeat, classic.
Yeah, definitely.
Classic. If you do not know what the movie, if you don't know about the 5 Heartbeats, the movie, something is wrong.
You gotta get your life.
You gotta get
your life.
Yeah, you gotta get your life.
Yeah, you gotta get your life.
Look it up on Netflix and watch it. This movie is, I'm telling you.
It's definitely a classic.
It's a classic.
And the interesting thing, it wasn't destined to be the classic that it is.
No.
And at the onset of the creation of the movie, it didn't make a lot of money.
No, it didn't.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we definitely had to go out and support our main man, 50 Grand Pocket fans, Hawthorne James. Yeah, we had
He hit the bell. Hawthorne James.
Yeah.
Shout it out.
Yeah. We had the chance to meet the legend, the icon himself, on the set of Keys, and it was like we was talking to our own.
Yes.
He was like,
he gave out so much good advice for us.
He really did.
You know, and one of the things that he said, keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Stay on the grind.
Stay working. He said, I don't care if it's a short film. Stay working.
Yeah.
And I like what he said a lot of things that we like, but he said, listen, for some people, 9 to 5 is for them, and I don't knock them, but it ain't for me. This acting thing is what he do.
Yeah.
And man, when he was a guest on the Kevin and Nikee show, man. He's we like I said, once you come on the Kevin and Nikee show, your family.
Your family.
He's a family member of the Kevin and Nikee show, and when he laid out his educational background,
nice,
taking up education in London.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, one of the better, what I want to say, art schools in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And he started talking about how he created and developed Big Red Davis.
Nice.
And it was years and years of education and training and development that culminated into that. And I like what he said. He talked about how, he would meet people and people would actually think he was like that in real life.
Yeah.
He said, well, you did your job.
It's a character.
He's just a character.
That's just a character that, a fictitious character that he created.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I must have done my job.
He did a good job. Yeah, and we know him to be one of the nicest, down-to-earth guys on the planet. Like I said, we're on the set of Keys talking to him like he was our uncle, man. Mm-hmm. Just giving us guidance, giving us tips, giving us instruction about the acting industry. Yeah. And so shout out to Hawthorne James, icon, legend, 5 Heartbeats, and a whole lot of other stuff for paving the way.
Yes.
Yeah, and then John Kenneth Terrell was in the house.
Yes, he was.
And we got a chance to hang out with him when we were on
Snowfall premiere. So it was great. Yeah, good guy, down to earth. Love the ladies, but he's a good guy down to earth.
He loved the ladies.
He loved the ladies.
A little too much.
But good guy, down to earth.
Good guy.
Icon legend himself. He was there. And I did some research, and basically what they were doing with this 5 Heartbeats showing, they had various different cities that it was premiering, and they had various different cast members in each of the cities.
In each of the cities.
So John Kenneth Terrell was representing the Philly, screening. Yeah. Hawthorne James was representing the Orlando. Yeah. So he had different characters in the movie. So it was great, man. Awesome. We had to support, man.
Yeah, of course. We got to support our family.
But you know what, Nick? I want to ask you this. How was it watching the screening and you had met Hawthorne James and John Kenneth Terrell? Was it kind of like a surreal moment like I had? Yeah, it was. We sit there watching it like
it was like, oh darn, I was just with this dude on set not too long ago filming the movie Keys. You sitting at the table like we cousins, Uncle and me. Just talking. And not only that, but he was like, Nikee, come here. I'm like, oh wow.
Right.
Oh wow.
And then when he came on the show, he had some encouraging to give to Chaz and Nikee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it spoke to the relationship that we had the opportunity to build.
Yeah, because you know some celebrities, they standoffish.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk to you. They don't want you talking to them. Yeah. Don't bother. Don't say nothing. But he was like, Nikee, come here. Come sit over here with me. Yeah. And telling you to come over. And I'm like, that's cool. I can get with this.
And you know what? We're going to let the cat out the bag on the Kevin and Nikee show. Okay. Word on the street is Hawthorne James will be at the premiere Keys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Uncle Hawthorne James.
Uncle Hawthorne James. That's right. And I heard that firsthand from Anjanette Pinkston, director of Keys. Yeah. So we looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Going up to NYC. We're going up to Turnpike. For the premiere of Keys. It's gonna be great. So man, it's been some exciting stuff. Other than that, man.
Exciting on the road.
It is. But yeah, man. So we always stand on the ground. Now you just got cast
in 5
short films.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: the director did not email me; he texted me.
Okay.
And said, "I need to talk to you." I'm like, "Oh, okay, awesome." Yeah. And I'm like, "Okay, cool."
I knew you was gonna get it. Yeah.
So I got it. I didn't say anything about it just yet, with the NDAs going on. Right. But yes, I did get one of the 5 short films.
That's
so
okay.
be looking out for that
on TV.
Philly Cam.
Yeah, you're going to be on TV again.
TV.
again. Yeah. So that's great, man. I knew you were going to get it.
I'm happy about it, too.
Yeah,
I really am.
Absolutely,
I'm happy
man.
about it.
Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So,
now, what did you do?
Well, for me, like I said, just in addition to the, last shot.
Yeah, last shot. And
making a 5-part game from there. Like I said, staying on the grind, auditioning, waiting for some callbacks, and waiting to film some stuff. We're still waiting to film Omega.
Yeah.
If You're Dirty. So we got some stuff on the table. Always have stuff on the table.
We got a lot of things on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically what I've been doing, man, is just getting a head start on my line. You know what I mean? Getting a head start on my line, trying to develop my character. Yeah, man, just want to get better every day, man. It's kind of a approach I took on the ball. Yeah. And so, yeah. So it's gonna be all that. Yeah,
it's gonna be really awesome. I'm just truly happy about about the whole thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Especially Omega. Omega's gonna be awesome because we got a lot of people.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, we got some people giving it a look.
Yeah.
And so some major stations giving it a look, and hey, a look is a positive. I want to put it like that. So we'll tell people more about that. And so we're gonna take a break. But before we do,
listen. We got this special guest on the line, you guys. She is just near and dear to our heart. I mean, this girl.
And she's talented.
She's just everything. What do you call that? All that in a bag of peanut butter and potato chips.
And she everywhere.
She literally is everywhere. And we're going to talk to her when we come back. Y'all gonna want to hear from her because
she do a lot.
She does a lot.
She acts. Assistant director. You know what I mean? Publicist. She got some good clients.
Yeah, and listen.
She got
Philly on lock.
Yeah, she got Philly on lock.
She got Philly on lock.
I second that. She definitely got Philly on lock.
She got Philly on lock.
Y'all gonna want to hear from this talented young lady. When we come back, it's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio and a whole lot more right there.
brighter nights, breathe with peace, expound by leaps and soul to reap our souls to keep the passions deep. and filled with heat. Living this life on the hustle, I barely get enough time. You know me from the platinum, how I stack 'em and shine. You see a lot of contenders, they try to end up in my world. A reputation known as the untouchable girl. I'm moving on and now I'm trying to make a change in my ways. Be the best that I can be to last me all of my days. Now we can blaze pathways or just take our time. Better holler if you hear me, cause left eye gon' shine. My eyes don't lie, see how they glisten when you pass me by. You and I don't need permission to be unified. Surely I've been seen and heard of many places. Then I traveled around the world, see many faces. Don't let another one get near me if you wanna be true. And show me that nobody else can do it better than you. So if you're serious, I'm curious to see what you got. My love is furious, cause I believe in blowing up spots.
You know what's up? Yes. What are you thinking?
I said, what's up? Hey, you know what he said?
You know what's up.
Oh, you know what's up? I can't tell her what's up.
Oh my goodness.
Principal. I got the principal,
You
right?
know what's up.
You know what's up? Okay.
Yes, you know.
All right, well, y'all know what's up. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio and a whole lot of other platforms.
You know what? Okay. And
we back.
We back.
All right, so we are back. All right, now check this out.
You know it.
And we failed to mention our other guest.
You know, we sure did.
Yeah. She's super talented.
This young lady can sing her behind off, I'm telling you.
She raps. She hip hop, R&B, pop, rap, artist,
just one show, cause she's Nyah. She's so sophisticated. As far as I know, ain't nobody created from beginning to end and to beginning. She never do, cause she's all about women. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think we might be in the background of one of her videos. But anyway, we got LaCinda Trotter is on the line.
Yes, ma'am.
She's an actress.
Yeah.
She's a director, assistant director.
Yes.
And she's a publicist. She's got some of the hottest clients in the city.
Yes, she does.
And then we got hip hop, R&B, pop, rap artist, actress.
Yeah.
You're going to find her in Jason's Letter.
Yes.
On the STARZ Network.
Yes.
LaCinda's in Jason's Letter.
Yes.
On the STARZ Network at 9 o'clock. And we're going to get a chance to talk to them.
Both of them.
Both of them. What's up, gang? What's up? How y'all doing?
I'm doing great.
You doing great?
She said, I'm doing great.
You doing great? What's up, Nyah? How you?
Listen. You got my sister Roxanne Shante on the line. Is that what you said?
Roxanne Shante?
No,
that was Nikee Shante.
Oh, Nikee Shante. Okay.
That's Nikee Shante. That was the next best thing. When you can't get Roxanne Shante, you get Nikee Warren Shante.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Yeah, that's what's up. Nyah, how you doing?
Doing good. How you?
Good. Now, Nikee, you cannot challenge her in rapping because she's a professional.
Okay.
No. Am I touching a battle here live on the Kevin and Nikee Show? No, we don't. Okay, she backed out. She's not going in tonight. All right.
Rap battle real quick.
Oh, you want rap? Oh!
Hold up.
All right. Well, let's set the stage. Let's set the stage real quick. All right, look. Okay, Nyah, go ahead. We're gonna let you freestyle. Go ahead and freestyle. We're gonna let you go. Go ahead and go.
Y'all want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Alright, hold on. Let me get my
You gotta let you clear your throat. Right?
Alright. Look up in the morning, scared to go outside because I'm afraid that a bullet just might take my life. I'm afraid that my mom will have to bury me. And I want to see her cry. No mother should ever have to bury her child. Real facts, it should be the other way around. Dead bodies on the news when that breaks me down. Dead kids on the streets when I turn around. You taking a life, but you know that hurts. See another black soul in a white t-shirt. Do you even care when your hand on the trigger? Do you have second thoughts about pulling that trigger? look, but that's not. Wish I could blame it on the white cops. I mean, yeah, they do it too, but we do it more. It's like sticking at the scab just to make it sore. How can I live? No one in the city. I live in this dick. Got me up thinking like, what on my neck? That's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. Okay, now you can just say that in English and let us say no. Just say that was great. No, but tell us what the theme of that was. Now we heard stuff. We heard what you said about getting shot and cops. Just tell our listeners what the theme of what you just said in terms of your lyrics.
Okay, so the point of that specific rap was because like on Instagram I was seeing that like a whole bunch of kids and people was dying in Philadelphia, and because the fact I live in Philadelphia, I'm like this like it's kind of like heartbreaking to see that my whole city is just dying right before my eyes, and I gotta grow up in this city, you know. So I'm like, everybody like pertaining to the fact that I'm feeling like this is just too much, like it gotta stop. I feel like
that's powerful.
I'm feeling like it's not the part when I said I mean like wish I could blame it on a white cop. I mean yeah, they do it too, but we do it more. I'm saying that it's black on black crime. So
I got you.
Just sitting back, chilling, just letting us do it, and like we not seeing it. So.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah, that's powerful because I mean it really is a problem. Like African Americans are killing African Americans in the inner cities. Period. Definitely Philadelphia, and there's a lot of senseless crime out here, and it definitely needs to stop. And so yeah, we want to jump right on into this. We were all in the detention scene together, and of Jason's Letter, which is going to premiere on the STARZ Network. So Nyah, I want to ask you, you just kind of gave us an awesome rap.
Yeah.
To expressing yourself and how you feel about the crime. What is it like being a part of Jason's Letter with the type of content dealing with the police brutality against African Americans? Like, how do you connect with that?
Alright, so I can connect with that. Like, I'm gonna try to sum it up. Like, you talking about the police scenes where they killed the little kid in the movie, right? That was the movie. Oh, you talking about the police scene in the movie, right?
Well, yeah, in the movie and in real life, because it's going on. And, you can watch the news, you see people, unarmed African Americans getting shot and killed. So this is a movie that's trying to address that issue. How do you feel being a part of an epic movie that's going to kind of address that issue, start conversation? You're part of this is a major movie, not just because of the content, but its relevancy in terms of what's going on in our cities.
So my feeling towards it, I just think it's gonna be uplifting and powerful. And I also think it's kind of sad that we can't all just bind together to stop the violence and put the guns down. And it's just a lot. So I'm hopefully this movie, if anybody see it, hopefully this movie make a change in somebody's life.
Right.
It's not acceptable at all.
Gotcha.
Right. And the same question for LaCinda as a woman of color, a mother as well. How would you answer that question, LaCinda, regarding your children? How would you answer that question?
Well, first of all, the movie was, really deep. It made me cry because I did rent it and see it, and it was just the fact that I believe that as far as what's going on in the world today, that a lot of cops, to me, shoot a black person to kill them. And I'm just going to be honest and keep it real, that when they shoot a white person, they shoot them in their arm, their leg, somewhere though they can still take them to the hospital and they be all right. So I have a problem with that. So when Terrence asked me to be a part of the film, I was, actually, a little excited because I'm like, wow, I'm going to be in a major film that's really telling the story that's really going on right now. And like my brother was murdered, but it wasn't by a cop; it was by another black young man. So, that happens a lot. So it's kind of what Nyah just did with her song. Black people killing black, or African Americans killing African Americans. Then we got cops, and then we want to march and to stop the police violence. But at the same time, we have our own children that we're worried about every single day. It's just horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. And for our listeners out there, we're talking to Nyah the Artist and LaCinda Trotter. Nyah is a rapper. She kind of does it all. She models, she acts, she's a hip-hop, R&B, pop, rap artist. LaCinda is Assistant Director. She's an actress. She actually plays Miss Lawson in Jason's Letter, for those that, don't know. And, LaCinda, you hit it right on the nose, because even Steve Harvey said one time on his show, why can't you shoot him in the leg? Why can't you shoot him in the arm? Right. Disable them. Why does it have to be, what they say, 2 to the chest, 1 to the head? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right. Because when say Jabez, when he got shot in the film, it was just like, I know I want everybody to see it, but it was just like so weird that, that they just automatically thought he had a gun too. Automatically. Right. And it made me think of Tamir Rice. Since she's in the film, it made me think of her son. He had a toy gun. You know what I mean? Yeah. They didn't give him a chance. So, yeah. That's
and, like, when we've talked about this on, to your point, we talked about this on previous shows, as we've been, interviewing, the Jason's Letter cast. We talked about perception. Who's helping these police officers who have taken a high-risk job that's full of stress and trauma with their perception? Because, when you have these outside factors like stress and, high intensity and things, all that stuff is going to affect your perception. And like in the movie, why, like you said, why did it have to automatically be, be perceived that he had a gun and or he was robbing the car? And it brings me to, a point, like you have, I think one of the things that's scary is you have a lot of these African Americans are where they supposed to be, doing what they supposed to do, and still getting shot and killed. Like the guy Stefan was in his grandmother's backyard, but because somebody called and said, we identified an African American that was breaking in cars, this man was running for his life in his grandmother's backyard, got shot 9 times. Yeah. Because they thought he had a gun, got it wrong, and it was only a cell phone.
Right. Right, exactly. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So this we of course this will be premiering, and we are having a watch party, and we're asking everyone to come out. What are some of the things, LaCinda, you are hoping that people can take away from watching this movie?
You said what are some of the things that people can take away from watching this movie?
Yeah, what are some of the things that you hope from watching this movie people will be able to take away?
Well, just the fact that, I'm going to let Nyah answer first, because she's a young person, and I want to hear what she has to say.
Awesome. Go ahead, Nyah.
I always want to hear what young people have to say about it.
Can I say the question again?
What are some of the things that you hope, Nyah, people will take away from watching the movie?
I want parents to be able to teach their kids that it's okay to grow up black. It's okay to not be scared to have an opinion on certain things. That's kind of like what I think.
Okay. No, that's powerful. Yeah, because
she's saying she wants them not to be afraid to have an opinion and not be afraid to be black.
Right. It's okay to grow. It's okay to grow up African American.
On with other people.
Right.
Yeah. About the guns in the street, that doing drugs is not the way. Shooting people is not the way.
Right.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's 2 things coming out here. We have the, killing of unarmed African Americans, and once again, like Terrence Hakeem said, like we're all saying, this is not a cop-bashing movie. Right. We have cops in the movie. Joe Thuet is a cop. We thank him for his service. Yes. He's in the movie. There are other cops in the movie, and we know that there's good and bad in every profession. Yeah. So this is not a cop-bashing movie. We're just talking about, like, when we interviewed John Singleton, we're talking about what's happening out here. Right. But then on the other side of the coin, we have the black on black crime that's going on, and it just seemed like I just wish that we would have the same outrage about the black on black crime in the community as we would when somebody Caucasian or a Caucasian cop kills an unarmed. And I'm not minimizing either side.
Either side, I agree.
So LaCinda, what is your opinion about that?
Man, I could go on and on about the whole thing. But I want to answer the first question is that what I want people to walk away from it is that when you actually kill someone, they belong to a lot of people. So that one person had a mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, best friend. You affect so many people when you take one person's life, you know. And I don't think people think about that. Cops or even the African American or even the kids that are out here being bullied. So even though there's something to do with bullying, but it hurts a lot of people. Don't just hurt that one person that life you took from them. You understand what I'm saying? It hurts so many people, and then you become depressed, you become sad, or you want to take revenge. And then it goes on and on and on and on. You know what I mean? But let me just say this: in Jason's letter, when the cop did it, he really felt bad. It wasn't like he was happy, and I like that part because it wasn't like he was like. He looked like he really felt bad about what he did. I thought he had a gun. You know what I mean? He thought he had a gun, even though he did not have one. He never gave him a chance, but at the same time, he probably was scared for his life because it goes back to what you said. I believe that every police officer, after a certain amount of months, they should always have therapy. They should have therapy, counseling somehow before they go back in the street at all times. I'm just saying, they just should. They just should.
Wow.
Right, that's powerful. That's very, very powerful, LaCinda. I mean, because it is a high, stressful job.
It is.
You know?
They're under a lot of stress when they, when.
And we respect that.
And we understand that, but you can't be under a lot of stress to the point where you just got your finger on the trigger.
And just making bad decisions.
Yeah. You have to have
before you pull that gun out, before you shoot that gun, you gotta take it out the safety lock set. So you got time to think about it before you do it. Right? You know what I mean? So they got time to think about it before they actually pull that trigger. They just don't think about it.
Right.
Now I want to ask you guys, and I want to ask Nyah first, and then I want LaCinda you to chime in after Nyah. There's a scene in Jason's letter played where Brian A. Wilson is in the hallway, and he's being, harassed by the cops, and Sue Bird and her character walks up. The two Caucasian, male and female Caucasian, is watching what's going on, and they're watching the cop. John Mitchell was one of the cops, and they did a phenomenal job because, I think by the end of the movie, they influenced your perspective towards their characters at least. Everybody did a phenomenal job, but the dialogue was so powerful that Brian A. Wilson's character said, the Caucasian male and female walks into the hallway, and they said something along the lines like, we finally see what you've been saying, because they had a chance to witness the harassment from the cops. And then Brian A. Wilson said, see, that's part of the problem. Y'all don't believe it unless y'all see it. Because it seems like, other culture perspectives, what is black people so angry about? What are they so frustrated about? And it's one of the things where, what Brian A. Wilson said, you don't believe it until you see it. Nyah, I want you to speak to that in terms of, the crime, police brutality towards African Americans. Do you think that that's true, that they don't believe it unless they see it, or do you feel that they kind of understand what you're going through?
I honestly don't think they'll never understand what I'm going through, because I'm judged mostly because of my skin color and because of my race. Like, how many more kids gotta die on a story?
Got you. Got you.
No matter what.
That's powerful.
That was powerful.
Yeah.
She said, how many kids gotta die before you understand?
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Right. And it doesn't seem like the totality, the understanding is there just yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
know. And
she get the bell.
She get the bell for that. We gotta give her the bell for that. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was so mature, wasn't it?
That was very
mature.
That was mature. That's Nyah The Artist, though. She's mature.
So how about you, LaCinda? I want you to speak to that same question.
She kind of put it together, like, seriously, because we're being judged by our skin color. I was stopped by a police officer the other day. He scared me, because I'm moving on the side thinking he's going past. So he pulls up, and he goes, and I put my window down, and he was like, oh. I was like, oh, what? He said, oh, well, you know why I stopped you? I'm like, no, I didn't know you were stopping me. He was like, oh, because your headlight, you had your high beam on. I said, well, the high beam is out. I said, are you intoxicated? He was like, have a good day. But the way he pulled up, because I have a Dodge Charger and it's tinted, he assumed I probably was a black male. You understand what I'm saying? Doing something wrong. But when he saw I was a female, he was like, oh. That's the first thing he did was, oh.
Right.
Oh, what does that mean? What did that mean?
Right. You know, and the thing is, see, it goes back to perception. It goes back to stereotypes. I shared on the show one time I was going to the hospital to, see my brother. And when I walked in through the hospital, I went straight to the metal detector because I had to go get his slippers and his socks and, and his wallet and things like that. I walked straight to the metal detector, put my phone and all that stuff in the plastic container, and I noticed out of my peripheral vision the cop that was to my right had his hand on his gun because I had on a black baseball cap, I had on a black hoodie, a Bruce Lee shirt, a pair of sweatpants, and a pair of Jordans, and I'm 6'7". So it was automatically assumed that I was some violent person, black male coming in there that to the point where, and that's discrimination. Because if an old lady had went out to her car and came back and she was of any other race, I don't think he would have put his hand on the gun. Now, if he's going to put his hand on the gun for everybody, then that's not discrimination.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so, when I was playing 10-12 basketball when we were young, my Uncle Herb, rest in peace, used to tell us when you're born African-American, you already got 2 strikes against you. I better understand what that means now than I did when I was playing 10-12. Yeah. It's true.
But let me ask you a question. Don't we kind of do the same thing with our own race? So a boy walking down the street with a hoodie on his head and his pants hanging down, and he walking behind you, and you turn around, do you automatically think he's about to do something? Like, I noticed that too. Like, we get...
Well, our culture do it to our culture as well.
We do it to each other, like, so...
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Our culture, you get the bell. You get the bell for that too. That's right. Absolutely. It brings up an excellent point because we judge each other too. Because guess what? When I had on my black baseball hat and black hoodie and Bruce Lee shirt, I don't look like a best film actor. I wasn't perceived as a best film actor.
Yeah.
When you were driving your Dodge Charger.
I was a basketball player. I just would have assumed he was a basketball player actually for your autograph. But I would have judged you thinking that's what you were.
Well, thanks, LaCinda. That might have worked too. That would have been better than putting his hand on the gun, but I hear you.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it is an issue. It's a dual issue. We have our side where we see a bunch of kids coming down the street with hoodies and book bags. We automatically assume they're a gang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or they're going to try to rob us and things like that. But I think one of the questions comes up, how do you differentiate? And it's very difficult. How do you differentiate without discriminating?
You can't. You really can't. You really can't. But what I do now is when that happens and I see young boys like that, I start strolling like I'm, I'm like,
we ain't gonna mess with her, man. She starts strolling.
She starts strolling like she a dude.
I do that. I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? Like that. They like, oh, hey, what's up? So there's about to do something. They change their mind.
Right. They probably be like, look, we was gonna bother her, but you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We changed our mind.
Yeah. I become an actress like right away.
Oh, that's what's up.
That is so funny. Now I wanna switch gears a little bit because LaCinda, you are just like all over the circuit. You're a publicist for almost all of the kids.
Yeah.
Tell our listeners a little bit about some of the child actors that you have the pleasure of working with. I believe one of your artists is on the line right now. Nyah.
We ain't gonna say no name, but Nyah The Artist.
Listen, I wish you would. But her mom and I are really cool, and I met Nyah when she first started out. So, you know, every now and again I'll just, you know, we'll talk and then she'll be like, can you promote something? Or I'll say, can I promote something? You know, I think Nyah is amazing. I watch her grow, you know, from when she was singing, when she was rapping. Now look at her singing. She already knew how to sing, but now she's killing the whole game. So I met them a while ago, but I don't work with her, but I would love to. But one of the kids I do work with is Jamal Manigault. He is now 14. He was 12 when he shot Jason's Letter. Of course, we all know he's the lead actor of Jason's Letter. Amazing young man. He's doing so many things. And now he's the lead actor for a couple of films. As a matter of fact, he's in a film with Leon from The Five Heartbeats, which is my ultimate favorite movie in the entire world. Everyone knows that. So, I also work with Taj Blaine, who's only 10 years old, doing some amazing things. He's in a web series. This little kid right here is about to blow up, and his personality is just like so bubbly. He's so adorable. Even if he take a nap, he wakes up in a good mood. Who does that? He's also in Jason's Letter. I got a call and they needed a kid right away. So I'm like, I have one. And so now Taj is in the beginning of Jason's Letter, which a lot of people don't know that, but he's in it as well. I work with Jabez Griggs, who is another amazing actor. He's actually in Jason's Letter. But he's doing a lot of different things. As a matter of fact, he wrote and directed his own film that'll be out soon. So I work with some good kids. I have adults. I know y'all know Ted McRae. Ted. Yeah, I manage Ted. I manage Ted. He's a great actor, and he has something that's about to come out that's going to blow everybody in the world. It's amazing. So, yeah, I work with Ted. And y'all know I manage RA Certified, which is a rapper.
Certified.
Last Shot.
The Last Shot, that's right. He did a great job, too.
Yeah, Suzanne Christine, I'm working with her, and y'all heard her perform at the premiere of Jason's Letter. She's an amazing singer. And that's what I'm doing. I'm a radio person.
Lottie-dottie, everybody.
Yeah, pretty much lottie-dottie.
Everybody. Anyway, LaCinda does a great job. She's an awesome publicist and actress, and she do more than that, too. When people need people, they call her, hey, I need an artist, I need a rapper, I need an actor, I need an actress. Yeah. You know, she has kind of become that point person, you know, in Philly as somebody that people can turn to get people. Yeah. Now, I want to. Yeah, and you're doing a great job. And I want to just ask Nyah. Now, Nyah, I want you to talk about the detention scene. We all were in the detention scene together, and talk about, you know, the role you played in the detention scene in Jason's Letter and that experience.
Okay, so the role I played was the little popular show-off wannabe type student. You know?
Chewing gum in class.
Popping at a gum. Yeah. Refusing to throw it away. And I am not like that. We're like, I am a fun, loving, goofy person.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm okay. But
yeah, y'all. She was getting smart with the teacher.
The experience I had with that, it was like, it was fun. It was scary.
Yeah, you were being a little sassy.
Yeah, you were being a little sassy mama in the class.
Classroom. I'm like,
I think she rolled her eyes, didn't she? She rolled her eyes.
She did everything. She rolled her eyes. She was chewing gum. She didn't want to spit the gum out.
It was a mess.
Nikee had to tell her, spit it out. She still didn't want to spit it out. She was giving the teacher attitude when the teacher came over to talk to her. Keep in mind, our listeners, she's not like this in real life.
If I had to play that role, that's what I'm going to play. But I know inside I am not like this at all. It's 0%. Zero.
I got you. Now listen, we from our observation, you played that role a little too well.
She did. She played.
You know what I'm saying? Like no. No, she's not like that in real life. She's a very down-to-earth, talented people.
It takes a lot to get under my skin.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay. So we better not find out you really been in detention.
That's right. We're gonna call LaCinda.
Yeah, call me, right? Nah, you 15 now, right?
I'll be 15 September 9th.
September.
Oh, she's a Virgo. Yes, Virgo season. Virgo season.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm doing. Got a video out. We have a mission.
Did y'all see the video?
I saw her video.
Oh, okay. Don't say you gotta see it on my page.
Oh, yeah.
I saw her video.
You got to. Okay, I guess it's Gotcha. Well, I just want to let you know you did a phenomenal job in your scene. I've been asking all the, kids that have come on the show this same question. People know who you are, but after this movie, people are going to know who you are. They're going to recognize your face.
Yeah.
Maybe perhaps even walking down the street, somebody might recognize your face because your face in that scene, you were plastered. You were really featured.
Yeah.
You really were one of the more featured kids in that scene. Are you prepared? How are you prepared to deal with that? Or are you prepared to deal with that?
Hi, guys. This is Mom. How's everybody? Can I answer a question? Hi. We were in the shoe store a week ago, and some lady came in with her kids, and me and Nyah was just, shopping, looking for shoes. She was being silly. It was a song over the intercom, and she was singing. I know what you're talking and the little girl came in and was like, "They're going Nyah The Artist," and her mom was like, "Who?" And he was like, "That's Nyah. Nyah The Artist." And all she could do was just stand there and smile. And when she said it, like, I got the biggest, my cheeks was hurting all day long because I was all day.
Oh, wow. Are we prepared? How did that make you feel, Nyah?
How did it make you feel, Nyah, to be recognized?
She said makes her feel like she's doing something right.
Makes her feel like she's doing something right.
Nice.
Absolutely. And then, you know what? And then one of the things that we're trying to pull out of bringing the kids of Jason's letter on the show is, how they say the youth of this generation is all of them disrespectful and doing bad things. No, they're not. We have had a lineup of very, very talented young people who are probably doing more at their age than some adults were. Yeah. How many adults can say that they were in a major motion picture that's going to air on STARZ?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we want to celebrate these young people, these very, very talented, and their mom managers and mompreneurs like Miss Tina, who, is kind of setting things in order. And then you got people like LaCinda, who's managing and giving them the publicity that they need. Yeah. So they have the surrounding foundation, but these kids are doing phenomenal things. And we want to celebrate them. Yeah. And that's what we're doing here on the Kevin and Nikee show. Giving these kids a platform to let their voice be heard, and they're going to be everywhere.
They're going to be everywhere.
Now, if they didn't know you before, they're going to know you now.
I know that's right.
Exactly.
All kids is disrespectful. I think the big problem is that their focus more on the disrespectful kids than kids that are actually trying to do something. I think that's why everybody, all the kids and children is categorized and being disrespectful. And they're not setting aside the kids that actually wanting to progress and succeed in life. So that's my opinion.
And that's true. That's true, and that's huge because the negative gets highlighted so much that the ones that are out here doing what they're supposed to be doing and doing great things kind of gets lost in the shadow over them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And what we're trying to do here is rewriting the picture.
Right.
Repainting the picture, rewriting the story. Repaint the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So Nyah, you ready?
You ready, Nyah?
I am 100%.
You feel like that. I am 100% ready.
Yes.
Are you ready for this, Nikee?
Yeah.
We ready. Listen.
We ready.
You know what's funny is I did this web series called Let's Be Real, and the first time somebody noticed me, I'm all like, huh? And they was like, excuse me, Miss Terry, and that's my name in it. I totally forgot. They was like, Miss Terry, and I'm looking. They was like, aren't you in Let's Be Real? And I'm like, yeah. And now I'm gonna tell y'all, like every other day, people want to take a picture with me and stuff, and I'm like, wow, like that's just the web series. So I'm hoping, even though I had a small part, Ms. Lawson and Jason's letter, that I kind of get noticed from that too, you know, because that's what we're doing it for, right? We're doing it to help the world with the film, but at the same time, we're doing it for our acting career.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I think that's an awesome combination that we're doing it. You know, of course, for our acting career, this is our passion, but we're also doing it to make a difference. And you know, 'cause one of the questions I got asked and Nikee got asked at the premiere down in Dover, what makes you want to be a part of something like this?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we want to use our artistic ability to be a part of the solution. That's a major part of it. To start that we can generate positive conversation about a real issue that's going on in our community.
Yeah.
So it is that dual combination, like you said. And guess what? After this movie airs, we all, if we wasn't recognized before, we all gonna be recognized.
Yo, we famous, y'all.
Yeah, we famous, man.
All right. So,
yeah, but you know, go ahead.
Tell our listeners a little bit about what you got going on, what's coming up for you.
Okay, so I just wrote 2 films. One is based on bullying. It's still being edited right now. It's about a young boy who was being bullied, and his parents wasn't paying him any mind, and he thought that they wasn't, but they really were. The father was treating the son like his dad treated him. So he thought he could handle it because he was able to handle it. And then he was getting bullied in school, so he decided to hang himself. So that's, you know, because that's what's going on right now. A lot of kids are actually hanging themselves, which I'm actually surprised because back in the day I used to be bullied, and I never thought about hanging myself. Like, I never thought about killing myself. So, but that's what they're doing now, killing themselves, because they'll anyone understand what they're going through. That's the one film. It's called Death Saved My Life. And then the other film I'm working on is called 15 Minutes, and it's about, once again, parents. There's a mom that's a detective, a dad that's a minister, but the mom is so involved in her job, she neglects her husband, which he in turn start going online, which in turn that the daughter is doing the same thing. She's going online, meeting boys or whatever, and she wound up having sex with the boys or whatever, and the story kind of starts from there. So that one is also for people to pay attention to their kids on computers, because a lot of times they meet these guys on the computer that's no good, pedophiles, rapists, all kinds of things, you know. So I have a quote now that I don't do marches, I don't do protesters, I do films to save one child at a time. So that's what I'm doing.
That's powerful.
Nice.
That's powerful.
I like that.
Using your platform, using your artistic giftedness, your artistic ability, your writing ability, your directing ability to make a difference in the world. Because the bottom line is, we tell stories.
We're storytellers.
We're storytellers. And, you know, one thing that everybody tends to do is watch movies on TV. And that is an awesome platform. Yeah, watch movies around, and we can tell a story about real issues, and there's always going to be somebody out there watching that's going to be able to relate to a character.
I don't know. It's going to be real with LaCinda.
That's it, that's right. We forgot about that part. Oh, my goodness.
You get the bell.
You get the bell for that.
Yes. So, Nyah, tell our listeners what you got going on. What's coming up for you?
Nyah will be going back into the studio to record another album opposed to her single that's just been released, and she's also preparing to go and audition on American Idol.
That's what's up.
Yes.
Awesome. will be leaving in September. What else is she doing?
She's doing everything.
Yeah. She just working at the Dell. She had the opportunity to open up for our very forever First Lady, Michelle Obama.
Nice.
That was an experience in itself. She had, and right now she's just preparing for her future and trying to.
I got you.
Nice.
Well, listen, we want to give you a shout out, Miss Tina, for being the mom manager, the mompreneur, and you doing it too. You get the bell, if we can. You get the bell too. Well, listen.
Say something about the movie Jason's Letter and what I think about the movie. I think the movie. First of all, it's not fake. This is what's actually going on in our black communities right now. And what we as parents have to understand, we got to educate our black boys. We have to educate our daughters, because in actuality, they're open for extermination.
I got you.
And they're being exterminated right under our noses. So we got to really hold them tight and educate them hard. As if back in the days, you'd be like, oh, you being too hard on them. You're being too hard on them. In this day and time, if you're not, you'll be burying them.
Right. It's about preserving lives.
That's right.
So that when they go to school, we can ensure that they come back home. You know what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying. Well, you know what? I think we should just end on. We're gonna end on that. There ain't nothing else to say after that. But listen, we want to thank y'all guys for coming on the show. We always like to give our guests an opportunity to put their social media out there. We start with LaCinda. If people want to follow you, contact you, things like that, put your social media out there. Then after her, Miss Tina, put your social media out there. I know you kind of manage Nyah. Put their, they got all kinds of stuff. Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Instagram.
You can follow Nyah at Nyah, that's NYAH. _ the artist on Instagram. Join her fan page on Facebook, again at Nyah The Artist. And you can also like, share, and subscribe to her YouTube channel at Nyah The Artist.
That's what's up.
And also check out her video, We on a Mission, by Nyah The Artist. And I also want to invite all three of y'all to my wedding. So I want to see you. But
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Okay. But
that's what's up.
That's what we want. That's where you can find Nyah at. And thank you all for the support. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome. All right, LaCinda, take it away.
Well, my social media is The Bible Princess. That's TheBible Princess, PRINCESS on everything. That's
what's up.
Princess.
There you go.
That's it. Just one name. That's how you know you're famous when you only got one name. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You don't need one name.
You don't keep it simple.
That's right. Well, listen, y'all have a great rest of y'all evening. Thanks so much for coming on the show. When you come on the Kevin and Nikee show, you are family. Not that y'all wasn't family, but I'm just family.
Yeah, we're going to be walking it up at the wedding.
That's it. Last question. We're going to do a Soul Train line at the wedding?
I got you.
All right, cool.
I want to hear Nyah singing at the wedding.
Okay.
Singing at the wedding. You already know she is.
All right. That's what I want to know.
She is booked for that day. You already know. I got to book my own child. Ain't that's crazy?
That's crazy.
You guys have an awesome day.
Thank you
for coming to our show.
Thank you for inviting us.
All right, take care. See you at the wedding. God bless. God bless.
Nice.
Awesome song. That was awesome.
At the wedding.
That was great. Now, but you know what? I mean, here's my thing, and that's one thing I love about our show, that we're willing to talk about issues that are real, relevant, raw, but be balanced. You know, we to give that balance, and also give people a voice, and give people a voice to talk about what's affecting them. And LaCinda, she's a real person. You're not gonna get anything fake with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And sometimes that's needed. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's needed because you can't beat around the bush.
Yeah.
And just like LaCinda said, Jason's letter is not a fake movie.
Right.
It's dealing with some real, raw, and relevant issues that are going on. It was a great interview, man. And Nyah had a chance to have her voice. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And you know what? And the thing about it is that what they were saying was just what needed to be said.
It was true.
It was true.
And it needed to be said. You know what I mean? These are some real issues that we facing every day. You know what I mean? Every day.
Yep. And I mean, I'm like, yeah. And you know, it's so funny what she was talking about because I was watching. I've been binging.
Okay.
I've been binging Orange is the New Black.
Okay.
Okay. And right now I'm on season 5.
Okay.
But the end of season 4 was about, the riot. And it's so funny, it's so ironic that both Nyah and LaCinda said, training for the police officers, they need better training because they need to know what to do when they're, faced with certain situations.
Right.
And it's so funny because I was at the season 4, episode 11 or 12, where the riot happened. Okay. Where the new guards came in because the old guards were not being treated right by upper management. Right. Their benefits were being cut, their hours were being cut, but they wanted them to come in and give their all to the female prisoners. And so the old guards, they walked. Right. They took a walk. So what they did was they brought in guards from the women's maximum security prison system. They brought them in and had them, being the guards for the girls. But the guards from the maximum facility they did not know how to handle the girls. So they were not handling the girls properly. I mean, they were making the girls fight each other because they wanted to see a fight. They were selling drugs to the girls. They were doing a whole bunch of stuff to the girls. But what caused the riot to happen, the girls got tired of being mistreated. So they said, okay, we want to do a quiet little demonstration. So all the girls, they got tired. So they stood up on top of the tables and they refused to eat the nasty food that they were being given. The guards got upset, called for backup, and they were forcing the girls to get down off the table. Now here's where it got a little crazy. One guard took this girl, pushed her down on the ground cabinet. This girl, she weighs only 90 pounds. Okay, African American girl. And he put his knee right in her back, pushing her chest completely down, and she could not breathe. Right. So the other girl was like, get off her, she can't breathe. He refused to up, and the girl ended up dying on the floor. And that pretty much caused the riot. So the girls were like, in our demands, we want the guards to be trained better. They need to know how to handle situations when there's a small little protest. You can't be pulling out your guns and ready to shoot us because we're telling you that we want you to treat us better. Right. And this is some of the things that they talked about, LaCinda and Nyah talked about. They need training. They need to learn how to handle situations better. It's not all about, reaching for your gun all the time because that's what the guard did. Right. He reached for the gun, but see, this is the thing. You can't bring guns in that prison. You can't bring guns in there. Right. So he was reaching on his hip to try and get a gun, but the gun is not there.
Right.
And so,
but you know, and to that point, it shows what their conditioning is.
Right.
The conditioning. People protesting, you know, quote unquote, for lack of a better phrase, acting out of control, or appearing to act out of control. Because even though, from what you're explaining, even though they were standing on the table, it seemed like it was a control. I want to say a control out of control protest.
It was controlled, but the guards caused it to be
out of
control.
And you know what? To that point, sometimes, and we've seen it, sometimes the police officers are escalating the situation.
Yes.
And we covered a story in sports. There was a player, I can't remember his name, that played for the Milwaukee Bucks. He got a ticket for parking violation in Walmart parking lot. And we watched the video, and in this Sterling K. Brown is his name.
Okay.
Yeah, Sterling K. Brown. I think it's, no, not Sterling K. Brown. Sterling K. Brown is the actor.
Yes, Sterling K. Brown is the actor.
No, I know this guy I think his name was Sterling Brown. For the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
And he was, you can hear him on the video say, like, listen, we're just sitting here talking. Why are you calling for backup?
Right.
Why are you putting your hands on? Why are you pushing me? I didn't press you. So sometimes these police officers escalate situations, and, you know, do you think it's safe to say because they know that they have an advantage?
Yeah. I think, you know, some police officers, there are some very good police officers. My uncle is a police officer, and there are some very good police officers. I meet a lot of them when I'm going into Wawa. They come in and they get their morning coffee and breakfast and different things like that. And you know, they're so polite and different things like that. But then just like you have some police officers that are really good, that are polite, that are, you know, don't want nothing to do with none of that. You have, on the flip side, you have the ones that are like, listen, it's whatever.
They can matter. And it's an abuse of power and abuse of authority, and that's what Jason Vetter is speaking to.
Yeah.
And that a kid had to come up with a solution to resolve this issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because one of the things that, you know, I kind of become mind-boggled about is if the police officer has the gun, and you're chasing someone, how are you fearing your life if you're going in the direction of that which you're claiming you're being fearful of?
Yeah.
Because from what I learned in psychology, when there's danger or imminent danger, the first response is flight. But it's not flight in the direction of the danger. It's flight in the opposite direction.
Exactly.
The second that's right. Yeah. And the second response, when you can't go no further, your back's up against the wall, is fight. You get what I'm saying? So how are you chasing after someone? You got the weapon, and you're fearing your life. That's kind of what I struggle with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I struggle with.
But if you guys, you know, are keeping up with Orange is the New Black, and you know what I'm talking about. But if you have not checked out this series, it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix series, Orange is the New Black, and right now they're up to, I believe, season 6. I binged all of them, and when it got to season 4, episode 12, 13, I was like, wow.
Right.
Because it talks about some of the it demonstrates some of the very same things that we talked about before on our show.
Right.
And I came away with it, you know, I was like, well, you know what, and remember how you said that the woman said about John Singleton, there they go with that black stuff, you know, Black Lives Matter stuff.
Right. I can't breathe.
Well, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Well, here you have the writer-director, Orange is the New Black, they wrote it and filmed it.
Right. So
I said, okay, it's not what it said, it's who's saying it.
Right. Because it was John Singleton, it was taken as a negative.
Right. So, because I'm looking up the negative comments about the episode, and guess what?
It wasn't one.
Not one.
Yeah.
It's not what is being said, it's who's saying it.
Who's saying what's being said.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Who's saying it? That's what I took away from the episode, because here you go. You had the I can't breathe.
Right, because he had a knee in the back.
And she died.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which sparked the riot.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then if you want to take the episode a little further, they
what they did was they went to the girl's social media and tried to find bad stuff on her to make it seem like she deserved to die on that slope.
And Nick, to your point, I'm glad you brought that up because I was watching, a CNN special. There was an African American columnist that spoke on that very issue. Mm-hmm. He said every time these unarmed African Americans get shot and killed, they want to dig up some negative history, negative pictures of them smoking weed and holding guns, and he dropped out of school, and they want to conjure up this negative rap sheet to make them, the public, feel, well, it was just another thug, they deserve to die. Mm-hmm. But this goes to show you how the media has a lot of influence on trying to shape perspectives in terms of what's good, bad, and ugly. Mm-hmm. So there was a story, Caucasian man who recently killed his whole family. Mm-hmm. The headline said, this talks about this man killed his whole family, was under a lot of stress. Mm-hmm. The headline even tried to subconsciously bring about an excuse as to why he killed the whole family. Mm-hmm. I don't believe had there been an African American man who killed his whole family, they wouldn't have put that safety clause in there that he was under a lot of stress. That part wouldn't have mattered. Yeah. And so it speaks to the issue of even the terminology that they use when it comes to Caucasians and African Americans. Mm-hmm. Maybe with the Caucasian it was a controlled substance. Mm-hmm. With African Americans it was marijuana, it was cocaine, So the media plays a lot in this as well.
Right. Now remember I said, it's not what it says.
It's who's saying. Right.
So what they did was everything that you have said on our show about the negative stuff, painting a bad light, they filmed it and on this new glass. Right. Okay? Mm-hmm. What they did was they went directly to her Facebook. They found this photo of her hanging out with her friends and one of her Caucasian friends putting up the two fingers, like making it look like bunny ears behind her head. Mm-hmm. They said, okay, let's use that to paint her in a negative way. Right. The guy said, well, you can't use that photo because she didn't do anything. The only thing she did was bad place, wrong time. Right. Okay? So when they could not find, and now this is clear, they're saying this. Right. When they could not find anything to paint this girl in a negative way, guess what they did?
They made something up.
No. They said, okay, well, we're going to have to put it on him then. We're going to have to say that he was reckless. We're going to have to say that he was having a bad day. He wasn't supposed to have a gun. He wasn't supposed to do this. We're going to have to say that. And he accidentally shot.
But here's the thing. But it sounds to me like the context in which they were pinning on him was full of excuses.
And they were saying that he wasn't well trained. Right. So now what they're doing is they shifted from her to him. Right. You know what I mean? They shifted from her to him now. Yeah. And so now they're making him look bad. Mm-hmm. Okay, from him killing this girl on the floor with his knee in her back and she can't breathe.
Gotcha. So they didn't make excuses.
No, they didn't make excuses for him, but they painted him now in a bad light. And this poor man, he was so distraught, he didn't know what to do. He's walking around like a zombie, crying and carrying on because he's sorry. And from the whole from the riot, he's watching the riot on the news. This poor man ready to commit suicide. Right. Because of everything that has happened from him having this girl on the floor with her knee in the back and everyone's telling him to get off of it. Right. So you got to see it. It's
speaking to some issues.
It spoke directly to those issues that we talked about and some of the things that you talked about. Some of the very good points that you brought up on our show. It spoke directly to that. But like I said again, it's not what is being said, it's who's saying it. That is who's saying it that people listen to.
Yeah. Well, that was good. That was good dialogue. I mean, that's some good stuff, man. Some good stuff. So we're going to do what?
Let's roll on into sports.
All right. Well, in sports, we got one story. The Lithuanian basketball team says LeVar Ball tried to destroy the club with dying Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So almost exactly 4 months after Ball pulled his son from BC by Trotter, he's saying the family isn't going to waste any more of his time overseas. The team has targeted Ball, his company, and his family in a press release backed by Trotter's coach, Seska. Okay, so as reported by Jeff Goodman and Yahoo Sports, the team went as far as saying Big Baller Brand, LeVar's infamous and signature business, tried to destroy the club by focusing only on trying to breathe life into their dying TV show. So Jeff Goodman went to Twitter and said, Ball Brothers former coach in Lithuania finally fired back. And he said the most disappointing fact was that they had no inner drive to become better, and that's what Coach Seska said of the Lithuania team. So the Balls, of course, have starred in Facebook's Watch Ball in the Family in 2017, broadcasting LaMelo attempts to play professionally in Lithuania, and it's apparent that BC had no interest in the reality TV affair, even if the team admitted to letting LeVar think that, so that the Balls are in charge of the club. So they even suggested that the Ball brothers, who saw limited playing time and injuries and occasionally viral games, didn't have what it took to be a part of their organization anyway. So his boys were nowhere near the level of the LKL, Lithuanian Basketball Federation, let alone NBA, is what they were saying, which the league obviously understands, seeing the draft outcome, is what Coach Seska said in the release, as seen on Eurohoops.net. And the most disappointing fact was that they had no inner drive to become better, and when they saw it was going nowhere, they started to destroy the club, not paying out prize money to the Big Baller Brand tournament winners, etc., etc. So the team's coach has since added that LaMelo is lazy, as Yahoo Sports noted, and that Coach Seska concluded its press release by confirming the Balls are completely finished in their relationship with the team, complete with a final finger. So the club survived, and that is the most important fact. So, here we have a dad who's, he's outgoing. Let's say he's outgoing, very outspoken, has 3 talented young boys. Of course, the oldest brother is in the NBA playing with the Lakers, and his brand is important to him. That ball brand is important to him. This is the guy that said he could beat Michael Jordan in his prime one-on-one. So he, is it who he really is? Is it marketing? I would like to say it's probably a combination of both. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, negative attention is defensive, just like positive attention is defensive. So, absolutely. It makes sense. So we just, we know that those 2 boys are talented. They're going to end up somewhere, but my encouragement would be, especially for the 2 brothers that were playing for Lithuania, make sure you get their education. Yes. Especially the one that came straight out of high school.
Especially the one who came straight out of high school.
You get the education.
He was taken out of high school and homeschool.
Right.
Yeah, so
get the education.
That's
all I got in sports.
All right, well, in news, our First Lady, Queen Soul, funeral, going home service, continues for her today. From 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. you can view her, and tomorrow on Thursday there's going to be a musical tribute, and then followed by the funeral service, which will be on Friday. Now the funeral service is closed to the public. That is for family only. So our First Lady, Queen of Soul, Mr. Lisa Franklin, homegoing service this week continues. And ain't that some S news? Check this out.
Wait, we gotta do it right. Ain't that some news?
Ain't that some news? Fox 29 reported that Molly Tibbet, a 22-year-old Iowa student who was out jogging, her body has been found. And 24-year-old Christian Bahina Rivera has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Now, Christian led police to where her body was found in a cornfield that he actually covered up. Now, here's where it gets interesting. And shout out to Steve Harvey of the Steve Harvey Morning Show because he summed it up so perfectly. Steve Harvey said this. The young man, Christian Rivera, he actually worked on the property of one of the Republicans because people were calling for more visibility at the border. Okay, at the border. Steve Harvey said this. Okay, the young man worked on the property of a Republican. You guys are trying to build a wall, but you are also letting people in, and you're hiring them and paying them low wages, and you're capitalizing off of them because you know you can do that.
Right.
So how are you calling for put more police presence at the borders when you're opening up the borders and letting them in to work on your property because you don't want to pay fair wages?
Right. That's right.
So how are you doing that? You either don't want them on U.S. soil or you do.
Right. Ain't that something?
You know what I mean? And it made perfect sense.
Right.
It made perfect sense. And here this young man, Mexican descent, raped this young lady and killed her. Okay? And when they dug into where he worked, right on the property of one of the Republicans. Isn't that something?
Ain't that something?
Ain't that something?
Look, I got one too. All right, listen. An Alabama man guilty of shooting his son in a row over really good chicken. All right, so the pair became embroiled in a heated argument as the family watched an NFL game on TV, and the father is now set to be jailed. So, this Alabama man could face 2 decades in jail for shooting his son during a row over chicken wings. All right? John Lewis Caver has been convicted of first-degree domestic violence by jury at Dallas County Court 2 years after he attacked his son as the family watched an NFL game on TV at their home in Selma. The pair had become embroiled in an argument over the food, and Caver's wife fell in a bid to separate them. Caver, 77, ended up shooting his son in the chest.
Over some chicken?
Over some chicken. Now, speaking after the guilty verdict on Tuesday, District Attorney Michael Jackson told AL.com this must have been some really good chicken. And though it's a serious issue, this is crazy. So Caver will be sentenced on November the 19th. He'll be jailed for 20 years. Ain't that something?
Over some chicken?
Over some chicken.
So that chicken must have been different old.
Man.
They must have fried that and laid to the side. That chicken. She had the 9 herbs and spices up in that chicken. He shoots somebody over the chicken.
Over chicken.
Wow.
Whatever you come to.
What? Listen. Ain't that some
Dude.
Wow.
That's it. Well,
oh my God, that's a story right there.
It's not funny because the life is long. But I kind of want the recipe of that. You know, it's kind of long, and we got to find out. Because this was some serious stuff.
We're going to have to find out.
This is crazy. That's some serious stuff.
Chicken? Really though?
Come on, y'all.
Oh, okay. We got to get it. All right, we're going to try it.
We're going to try it.
All right, it's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio, everywhere, and we'll be back.
Tomorrow will come, and girl, I can't wait. It's our anniversary. The first thing I'll do is run straight to you. It's our anniversary.
We are back. And, yeah.
Ooh, that's some stuff right there.
That's
a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Oh my God. That is a lot.
It's not.
Chicken?
Yeah. I'm struggling with that.
What is it? Is it 9 herbs and spices or 11? 11 herbs and
You
spices.
know, I don't know. I don't know. We what have we come to? You know what I'm saying? What have we come to in our humanity? We like killing family members over chicken. Anyway.
Listen, yeah.
Anyway, it is now time for my favorite part of the show.
Well, you know what? I've been on a roll. I've been having so much fun, you know, over the weekend and everything. You know, about me today.
Okay.
I'm surprised. Aren't you surprised?
I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the snakes. You know, I spot you, snakes. I see you, and I'm ignoring you. So, you know.
Right.
That was a big thing right there.
Okay,
you know, spotting and ignoring the snake. So you know,
you did a 2-part series on that.
Yeah, I did a 2-part series, spotting snakes, and then ignoring the
and then we
snake.
talked about how to deal with the one that you can't get away from.
Yep. So we covered a lot. We covered a lot. So I
think that helped for people.
I think it
you know what I mean?
You know what it did, because we got a lot of comments. We got a lot of comments, and one of our friends to the show said, you know, a snake will shed its skin, but it will always be a snake.
Yeah, Lisa Marie Collins.
Yes, Lisa Marie Collins said that a snake will shed its skin, but it will always be a snake.
Yeah, so we got to have her on. We're going to have her on the show, too.
And
that was good. Yeah, I heard how did. She got that comment. And it's just so true. So people were really chiming in. And,
a snake is going to leave something behind.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to leave something behind, but he's still a snake.
Let me ask you this. Do you think people who are snakish, do you think that they know that they're snakish? I'm just trying to understand the thing. I'm just trying to.
You know that you're shifty and shady.
Okay.
You know it. You know that you have some shifty and shady ways. You know when you are not being true. You know when you're not an honest person. You know.
And I'm not making excuses. I'm just trying to, like, as someone who studies psychology, I try to understand the thinking behind what got to the behavior. So, I mean, I know we got like mental illness out here, so that's why I asked the question. I don't want people to think I'm making excuses like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. No, I know they know what they're doing. That's why they do what they do. So go ahead and finish what you
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know when you are being a con artist. You know. So it's not something that you hide from yourself, or something that you just discovered within yourself. You know what you're doing. You know when you're about to, do somebody wrong. You know when you're about to do something. Come on. So it's so stop making excuses for it. Get better. You don't have to say that. Yeah, you don't have to say that way. Get better. Yeah. Learn how to treat people right. Because here's the thing. You would want someone to treat you right. You know what I mean? You would have a fit somebody treat you the way you treat them.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that, Nick. And that was a perfect segue, because this is what I was going to say. One of the things I've learned in my life is that snakes get highly offended, bent out of shape when they get bit by a snake.
Yes.
I mean, they can't believe it.
They can't, and they will go. And they will tell everybody, can you believe what so-and-so did to me?
Right.
And like, well, what did you do?
Look what you've been doing, yeah.
You did the same thing to the person out of church.
It's like the thief complaining about getting their watch stolen.
Yes.
And that's it's like a blindedness there.
Yes.
And a victim mentality.
Yes. They take on the victim mentality all of the time when those tables turn, and they get it they get it done to them. Yeah, you know when I honestly believe that you know when you are doing somebody dirty. It is not a surprise to you. To a snake, it is not a surprise. It is not a surprise. You know it when you're doing it. But my thing is get some help, get better, and stop treating people like that, because I'm telling you right now, when those tables start to turn,
that's it.
That bite that you get from the snake who get ready to bite you is going to be way worse than when you bit somebody else.
Yep, that's it.
That's it. That's all I got.
Well put. All right, well.
What's Bothering Nikee will be back next week.
Well, this is kind of like What's Bothering Nikee. This is kind of like a little resume.
It was like a little recap.
A little recap. Little resume.
Yeah.
So it was kind of something.
Yeah, because now that we know how to, identify the snake, ignore the snake, we know how to be cordial with the snakes on our job. We're getting better at dealing with people.
Right.
We're getting better.
And then the other thing too is like the expectation level is like there's none.
Yeah.
Like how you can't expect a snake to act any other way but like a snake. So it's not like you're not caught by surprise or caught off guard.
Right.
They're doing what they do.
Right, and it's like what the snake is doing is no longer what getting underneath your skin or hurting your feelings as much, because now you know how to recognize them, you know how to ignore them,
and you know how to deal with them.
And you know how to deal with them on your job.
Right.
So now that we've got that training in, we can be a little bit more
aware. You're a little bit more aware. You're a little more alert, and you know how to approach them, and you know how to deal with them, and you know how to handle.
That's it. All right, so we're going to take a break. And when we come back, it's going to be time for my favorite part of the show, Kevin's Corner.
Staring at a stop sign, watching people drive by, T-Mac on the radio. Got so much on your mind, nothing's really going right, looking for a ray of hope. Whatever it is you may be going through, I know it's not gonna let it get the best of you. You're an overcomer. Stay in the fight till the final round. You're not going under. 'Cause God is holding you right now. You might be down for a moment, feeling like it's hopeless. That's when He reminds you that you're an overcomer. Everybody's been down, hit the bottom, hit the ground. Ooh, you're not alone. Just take a breath, don't forget, hang on to His promises. He wants you to know you're an overcomer. Stay in the fight till the final round. You're not going under. 'Cause God is holding you right now. You might be down for a moment, feeling like it's hopeless. That's when He reminds you that you're an overcomer. You're an overcomer. The same and the greater and the one who overcame death, He's living inside you. So just hold tight, fix your eyes on the one who holds your life. There's nothing He can't do.
You're listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio and so much more. All right.
You back?
We're back.
We're back.
All right. That was good, man.
That was
really good.
That was good.
That was
Not a good job.
But I'm excited, though, because Kevin's corner going to be off the chain. I was keeping at it just a little bit. So we about to hear from Kevin's corner.
All right, you heard the song about being the overcomer.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I want to kind of do for the next lineup of shows, I want to kind of do the 8 characteristics of an overcomer, and I'm going to take one characteristic each week.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so today I want to deal with flexibility.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I want to deal with overcomers are flexible. Okay? So you've heard the saying that the only thing that is constant in life is change. And that's kind of like an oxymoron because if it's constant, then it shouldn't be changed.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that is constant in life is change. And that saying, that saying came from let me say it again. So that saying came from Heraclitus, a Greek philosopher. He has been quoted as saying, change is the only constant in life.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So why is it important to be flexible and adaptable if we're going to be overcomers? Well, the benefits of being adaptable. Adaptability is the personality trait that helps determine how you respond to change. Sometimes that change can be all of a sudden. Sometimes it can be good change, bad change. It can be unwanted change. But it's how you respond to it. So adaptability is that trait that helps us determine how we're going to respond. All right? High adaptability equals more business success is what people are saying. So people with high adaptability are often described as flexible, team players, or as someone who goes or grows with the flow. All right? So here's some definitions of flexible. Not going to insult anybody's intelligence, but it's capable of bending easily without breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Able to be easily modified to respond to altered circumstances or conditions. All right? Ready and able to change so as to adapt to different circumstances. And when our pain, problems, persecutions, and pressures come, when our trials, struggles, tribulations come, we want the characteristics to be able or capable of bending easily without breaking. It is a picture or image of a tree in a storm.
Okay.
And the tree is bending over due to the strong winds of the storm, but it's not breaking because of the deep roots in the ground.
Okay.
So it also begs to ask the question, what is your foundation? What is your roots grounded in that can help you withstand during the time of change?
Okay.
All right. So here are some characteristics of adaptable people who are overcomers. Adaptable people experiment. All right. To adapt, you must be open to change, which means you must have the will, emotional tolerance, the mental fortitude, spiritual guidance to not only face uncertainty, but smack it in the face and press on.
Okay.
Number 2, adaptable people see opportunity where others see failure. Number 3, adaptable people are resourceful. You can take away a person's resources, but you can't remove resourcefulness.
Okay.
Rather than getting stuck on one situation and solve a problem, adaptable people have a contingency plan in place for the when plan A doesn't work, and we got a plan B.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 4, adaptable people think ahead. Fail to plan to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Adaptable people don't whine for complaint. Now, we all have complained at some point. It's part of the human experience, but it's not characteristic of them as a quality. Adaptable people talk to themselves. In psychology, this is called self-talk, which is very, very healthy for our mental, spiritual, emotional growth and development. All right? Now, you're going to talk to yourself. Don't answer yourself. And then they're going to have to bring people from the stage Alright. Don't get it talk, but don't answer yourself. Alright? So, adaptive people don't blame. You know, you heard me talking about the snakes. You know, snakes don't take responsibility for their behavior, their actions. So, adaptive people, they don't blame. Alright? Adaptive people don't claim fame. Alright? Adaptive people are curious. You know, they're information driven. They're always seeking education and intelligence and developing themselves. Adaptive people stay current. All right? Adaptive people see systems. How does this work? How do you build this? How do you create this? So forth and so on. Adaptive people open their minds. And number 14, adaptive people know what they stand for. You know, if you don't know what you're standing for, you fall in.
That's right.
That's all I got.
That's right.
How do we deal with
that? That is right. That is so right.
That's it. So that's the first quality or characteristic of an overcomer, is being flexible and adaptable.
You don't know what you're standing for, you'll fall for anything. That's right.
Yep.
That's awesome. So that's going to be a series.
It's going to be a series. You inspired. You're inspired. Your 2-week series has inspired me.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
Yes. You get the bell.
You get the bell too. You're too much, Harry.
That's what's up. I'm telling you, that's what's up. I like that.
We're just trying to touch and improve lives here.
I like that.
Show entertain and inform and instruct knowledge.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like that. But, you know what? I'm going to have to do another series.
You have to do another series.
I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
Let me think of something. You know, they ain't going to take long.
They ain't going to take Yeah, somebody like.
Yeah.
But anyway,
all right.
That's it. So, look, let's put it out there. I'm actually Kevin D. Benson. You can follow me on Facebook. And I will follow that. But it got to be a real profile, guys. You know what I mean? Something, you know what I'm saying? Let me know who you are. Stuff like that. I'm on Twitter at Kevin D. Benson. And I am on YouTube at the Kevin D. Benson. I'm forever putting up new clips and stuff like that. So check me out and stuff like that. Check out Nikee, actor Nikee on YouTube.
Yes, I got to do better, you guys, for putting my clips up there. I just be so busy, you know, doing this, you know, auditioning, acting, filming, you know, and doing things for the show. I keep forgetting about my YouTube channel, but I'm going to get better. I promise you.
There you go.
I promise you.
And we got more clips coming in.
Yeah, we got more clips coming. I will do a much better job at putting some stuff up there so that you can see me.
Yeah.
Okay? You can find me on Facebook, Nikee Warner, on Twitter, at Nikee Warner, on Instagram. Hello, I'm Nikee, that's spelled HELLOIM, and I say EE. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding our show, hit us up, the Kevin and Nikee Show at yahoo.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns for Nyah The Artist and the awesome LaCinda Trotter, hit us up. Send us an email. We'll read it to them, get the answer, and read it back. Hey, your email can be featured on the show. So, get those fingers to type it and send us an email. Also, do not forget, put it on your calendar, the Kevin and Nikee Show, Dinner and a Movie, featuring Jason's Letter Watch Party. It's going down at the Golf and Social Club on Delaware Avenue.
Yes, sir.
8 o'clock, doors open, movie starts 9 o'clock
sharp.
I'm telling you right now, this movie you want to see from the beginning. You don't want to catch it in the middle to the end. You want to see it from the beginning. I guarantee you, you will be. It will touch your heart. All of the children in this film did a phenomenal job. All of the actors in the film did a phenomenal job. Shout out to Lottie Di, everybody. Fabulous job. So you want to see it. All-star cast.
That's it.
Okay? That is
and Nikee Show for iHeartRadio. We're everywhere. And we are
out of here.
never knew such a thing could come. And I never knew such a love could be inside of one. I never knew what my life was for, but now that you're here, I know for sure. Babe,
I never knew till I looked in your eyes.
no, babe.
I wasn't complete till the day you walked into my life. And I never knew that my heart could feel so precious and pure. One love so real.
Just see you every morning when I open my eyes. I just feel your heart beating beside me every night. We just feel this way together till the end of all time. Can I just spend my life with you? Now, baby, the days and the weeks and the years will roll by, but nothing will change the love inside you and I.
And maybe I'll never find any words that could explain just how much my heart, my life, my soul you've changed. When no one else understands, you tell God in the whole world, you're my name, you're my name. One touch of my hand, oh baby, I just spend my life with you.
No touch has ever felt so wonderful.
No deeper love I've never known. I swear this love is true. Now and forever to you, only for you.
You have been listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.
The way you shine inspires us at Pico. So please keep doing what you do, and we'll provide the essential energy that makes it all possible. Learn how we're powering life at home and building a more vibrant community at pico.com/shine.
Storybook Land is filled with fun, wonder and adventure for everyone. Childhood memories are a part of our plan. Create your own story at Storybook Land. Your favorite rhymes and stories come alive. Feel the excitement of terrific rides. Visit us once and you're a lifelong fan. Create your own story at Storybook Land.
Storybook Land, Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township.